we are definitely looking radiant, okay? Very radiant. Hey girl, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Faye, and for today's video, I'm bringing you guys the first foundation review of 2023. So I don't know if you guys have been keeping up, but the brands have been coming in hot this year with the complexion products. We are only a couple of days into the new year, and I can't even count how many complexion products I have already seen announced to come out this year. So I've already picked up a few. You guys know I had to come through for my oily skin girls and let you guys know what's tea. Are these products worth the coin? Are they gonna last on the skin all day? We're gonna be testing them out over the next couple of weeks. So definitely let me know in the comments down below if there's anything in particular you had your eye on and you want me to test out for you guys. But for today's video, I am bringing you guys a review on the new JUVIA'S foundation. So it's been a little minute since I've done a review on a drugstore foundation. So I had to come through with that for you guys for the first review of the year. This one is the new JUVIA'S I Am Magic Natural Radiance Foundation. This is what the packaging looks like. I did have the first foundation that they launched and I really enjoyed it personally. So when I saw that they were coming out with like a natural radiant, which to me is giving NARS vibes, I definitely had to pick it up and test it out for you guys. And then also I picked up these powder foundations as well. I'm not sure if these are going to be the right shades for me, but we're going to test them out today and see how they work. So if you enjoy these types of videos, definitely be sure to give it a thumbs up. Feel free to chit chat down below in the comments, and let's go ahead and get into the review. Alright y'all, so let's go ahead and get into it. I did go ahead and prime my face off camera. If you're interested in what primers I used the Fenty mattifying primer all over the face. Then I went in with the Cali Ray So Blown blurring primer just like in this area where I have large pores. And then lastly, I went in with the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin all over the face as well to kind of top off that primer concoction. So like I said, today we are going to be reviewing the new JUVIA'S foundation. But before we jump into just putting it on the face, let's talk about the claims. So first things first, this foundation retails for $23. It does come in 30 shades, and it claims to be an easy glide foundation that's going to give a flawless, radiant, and luminous complexion, which as an oily skin girl, I'm already a little bit nervous, but there have been other luminous products, foundation products that I've been here for, so, you know, we're going to see. I'm going to hold out judgment. You know, we're just going to test it out and see what the vibes are. It says it's supposed to be water resistant, light, and hardworking. It's supposed to naturally minimize imperfections and smooth, perfect, and hydrate the skin for lasting results. So I picked mine up in the shade Punta Cana, which was the shade that I had in the original foundation. So when I saw that the shades were a 1-to-1, like they were the same shade range or looked to be the same shade range as the first launch, I just went ahead and picked up the shade that I already had before and didn't even really look at the other shades. So hopefully this will be a good shade for me. This is what the packaging looks like on the actual product. Really beautiful packaging. And then when you take this off, we do have a pump. It says on the pump to shake well. So we're definitely gonna make sure we shake it up really, really, really well. Oh, it says leave the cap on, with the cap facing downward. And then it says shake well, with the cap facing downward. So we're going to do that. Shake, shake, shake. All right, so now that we have it all shaken up, I'm going to go ahead and actually pump it out on this little tray so that you guys can see the consistency. I think I'm going to pump out like, well, that's 1, 2. We'll do like 2.5 pumps because the first one was a little, you know, that first pump it doesn't give you all the product. All right, so this is basically 2 pumps, and you guys can see, hopefully, there you go. You guys can kind of see the consistency. It's a little bit thick. It's not super runny, which I'm not mad at. So let's go ahead and get into applying it to the face. I'm going to pin my hair up and zoom you guys in a little bit so that you guys can have a little bit of a better view. All right, so I got you guys up close and personal. So let's go ahead and put on the product. I didn't put on any like color correction or anything like that. So we're really just going in cold turkey with this product and testing it out. So let's see. The color looks a little light, but it looks like it might be okay. I think it'll be okay. It looks a little light, but I think once I apply all of my products, it'll be fine. Now, I will say it has a little bit of a scent. I'm not sure what that is that I'm smelling. I mean, it smells good to me, but I know that scented products for some people can be like a little bit of a turnoff, especially if you're sensitive to that. It is a little bit strong. I wonder what that scent is. I don't mind it, but again, like I said, I know some people can be sensitive to, you know, scents in their foundation. So definitely wanted to mention that because you notice it pretty much right when I started applying it to the face. I could smell it. It smells good, kind of sweet. Like, I don't know what that reminds me of. Maybe like Smucker's lip gloss smell is what I'm getting. So yeah, you know, just something to keep in mind. But we're going to go ahead and blend it out. Okay. I'm not mad at the blend, though. I will say it's it might be a little light and a little warm, but we're going to keep going. I do feel like when foundations come out, or like when brands come out with foundations that have a different formula, and like if I get the same shade, if it's like a more radiant formula, I have noticed that sometimes I may have to like do a different shade. Like with the NARS foundation, I'm normally Tahoe in that foundation, and when they came out with the matte version, I had to go like one shade deeper. So I don't know if that'll end up being the case with this one. But like I said, you know, once I get it all applied and we have, you know, all the products on the face, we'll see what the blend is. I feel like I'll probably be able to make it work, honestly. But, you know, just wanted to mention that if you purchase the previous foundation shade or the previous foundation in a particular shade, it may not be like a perfect, you know, correlation. But again, we'll see. That's just like my initial first impression. But the skin, look at my skin. I mean, as an oily skin girl, it does give me a little bit of pause, like the glow that's happening. But also, I'm not mad at it because I feel like it looks really healthy. It's blending into the skin beautifully. Like, look at my face. And also, it doesn't look oily. It just looks healthy. Like, it looks like my skin is really moisturized and it just looks like healthy and radiant. Not oily, if that makes sense. So, yeah. And the coverage, I'm also not mad at the coverage. So, this is what one layer of the foundation looks like on the skin. Definitely not mad at that at all. I feel like on camera it's pulling a little warm. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. In person, I feel like it looks okay. I'll have to show you guys in natural light once I have all the products on my face. In person, it looks fine to me. But I feel like on camera, it is pulling a little bit warm on the skin, if that makes sense. But wow. And I will definitely say, again, the scent is very much there. So you may have to like see if you can get a sample or just test it out for yourself and see if that's going to be an issue. Again, I don't mind the scent. I think it's a pleasant scent, but I know for some people scents can be a thing. So I don't even know if I want to add any more. I think I might do just like a little bit more on like my cheek area, because I know I have some dark spots there. But honestly, I think on a regular day, if I was applying this foundation, I wouldn't really be too concerned with adding more coverage, because that first layer really did what it needed to do. Wow. Look at my skin. Okay, Juvia's Place coming through with the first foundation review of the year. I'm so glad that I went with this one first, because I kind of wanted to do the new Makeup by Mario one, which I still will do that one. But I feel like a lot of people have reviews out on that one already. So I kind of wanted to like come out with something different first. And this, wow, it's doing what it needs to do. It's definitely doing what it needs to do. I'm obsessed with my skin. So, okay, let's move on because I can literally just keep talking about my skin over and over and over again. It looks really, really good, but let's keep moving. So I did go through my collection and pull out like pretty much all the Juvia's Place products that I could find that I own to try to include in this video. And one of the ones that I found are these concealers. I'm not sure if you guys ever picked these up, and I don't even remember what the name of these were. I'll have them linked for you guys down below. But I have the shades 13, which is like my skin tone shade, and 15, which is like a little bit of a lighter concealer shade. So I'm going to use these today as my concealer. I haven't used these in a hot minute, but I do remember really liking these and liking the coverage that they gave, and just like the application. So we're going to do a little bit of the lighter shade, and then we're also going to do, actually, let's also bring this shade down the nose, on the chin, on the forehead. Yeah, I can already, I'm like having flashbacks of how much I liked this concealer. Do a little bit of this shade. Okay, so actually this is not my skin tone shade. I think it's just a little bit darker, like a shade or two darker, for like if you didn't want to have like a super highlighted look, something a little bit more natural. But again, I'll have these linked down below for you guys. And let's go ahead and blend this out. You see how beautifully that is blending into my skin, the concealer? Wow, I forgot how much I love this concealer. I literally had it forever, but I'm glad I pulled it out. Kind of makes me excited to keep using it because I forgot how good this is. Okay, so I don't know if the lighting looks any different to you guys, but I have like another window to this side of me, and I just turned the blinds up because I felt like the light was just blinding me and throwing off what I could see. So I don't know if that looks any different to y'all, but yeah, I just kind of tapered off some of the natural light because it was just doing a lot. But okay, so the face, looking pretty good, looking pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and set. I am going to use some loose powder, which I don't have one from Juvia's Place, but I do have these foundation powders that I mentioned. So I have the shade Tan 2, which I'm hoping is going to be my foundation shade. I'm feeling like it might be a little dark, but we're going to see. And then I also have the shade Cabo, which is medium 1. And I'm feeling like maybe I should have gotten Tan 1. I don't know. But this is the packaging. Very cute. Love the kind of chocolate packaging. And like I said, I have Tan 2 Zaria and medium 1 Cabo, which look like this. So Tan 2, medium 1 over here. So I think I want to try maybe setting under my eye a little bit with the medium 1 before I bake, which I'm hoping that I won't regret doing. So let's see. We're going to just blend this out, and I'm just going to go in with, oh, that's kind of dark. It comes off. Oh, okay. So this actually comes off a little bit darker than it looks in the pan. I think medium 1 may end up actually being the shade that I use to set my face, which means that this one is probably going to be way too dark for me. So we're not even going to go into that one. And yeah, I'm just going to, and medium 1 may even be too dark. I'm just going to set with like my regular little translucent powder because I am not trying to mess up what we have going here. Okay, so I went ahead and did my brows off camera as well. So this is what the skin is looking like after I set underneath my eyes. I ended up not really doing a ton of baking. I just kind of lightly set, and then I did bake like around my nose and right up underneath my eye, but nothing too crazy. So we're looking pretty flat right now. So let's go ahead and go in with this powder foundation. So let me see first what the claims are. So first of all, this retails for $18. There are 20 shades in the powder foundation. And it says that it's an easy glide foundation for a flawlessly radiant and luminous complexion. So apparently the powder is also supposed to give you a somewhat luminous complexion. It's supposed to be lightweight, water resistant, minimize imperfections to smooth, protect, and hydrate the skin. So basically a similar description to the foundation. So like I said, when I picked this up on the sponge, it looked a little bit dark. So I am going to, well, this just popped open when I had it upside down. So apparently there's also like a little makeup sponge that sits right inside of here if you are someone that uses those, and then the powder just sits right on top. And there is a mirror in here as well, if you're interested. So I'm going to, I think, just use the shade Cabo, which is medium 1, which was not my intention. But, you know, the other one, I think it's going to be too dark. And I also saw Tasha use, I'm pretty sure she used Tan 2 as her foundation shade, and I know she's deeper than me. So we're going to go in with medium 1 and pray that it's not going to be too deep. Okay. So this is medium 1. And I can even see that it is deepening. I don't know if you guys can see like this side compared to this side. I feel like it did kind of deepen. I don't know if it's picking up on camera. Like, you see how it's kind of deepening my face, which is not an issue. And I'm honestly not mad at it. I'm just not used to a medium shade being like my complexion shade. So just keep that in mind when you're purchasing this foundation, that the range is a little bit different than maybe what we're used to. But listen, I appreciate a Black-owned brand giving us lots of options. So that also kind of makes me feel like if a medium 1 is a shade that I can use as an all-over face powder shade, that the other shades past medium 1 probably come off a lot deeper than you might expect. So keep that in mind. I don't think that these are in the store yet where you can go in and actually test them out. Luckily, if you pick up the wrong shade, you can always return it, which is probably what I'll end up doing with Tan 2, which I did not touch at all, because once I picked up medium 1, I was like, oh, okay. So I'm probably just going to end up taking this one back or giving it to a friend or somebody else that can use it, and just sticking with this one in medium 1, which is the shade Cabo. So this is what the skin is looking like. Again, now with the powder foundation, we have a little bit more color to the skin, not looking quite as flat. And honestly, my face, I feel like my skin looks really good. I'm trying to get up close and personal so that you guys can see. It's like it looks matte, but it doesn't look flat. When I said flat before, I meant more like one tone, not flat as in like no life. But I feel like my skin just looks really healthy, and it looks like, I don't know, it looks radiant, I guess is the word, but it doesn't look oily. That's really the best way that I can describe it. So let's just keep moving right along with the face and finish up the rest of the complexion. So the next thing that I'm going to do, I think, is bronze and blush. So for my bronzer, I actually pulled out this little bronzer duo from Juvia's Place. I've had this for a while, pretty much since they launched it. I have mine in the shade Tan, and I do really like and enjoy this. I really just mix both of these two shades together. There's like a warm shade and then a more like deeper reddish brown shade. So I kind of just tap, 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 tap back and forth between the two. There's a mirror in this as well. And I just use them both to bronze. And then I did take out some eyeshadow palettes as well. I have a bunch of eyeshadow palettes from Juvia's Place. I pulled out the Warrior and the Warrior 2, but I think I'm just going to use bronzer in the crease today and call it a day. I may go into one of these just to like deepen it up. I don't know, maybe. Should we just dip into the eyeshadow? Let's see. What are the shades? What are the shades? Because I'm not really trying to do too much. I kind of want to just keep it focused on the complexion. Yeah, I think I'm just going to dip into the bronzer and just keep it simple with an eyeshadow brush. This is the Morphe E23, which, speaking of Morphe, just like, not to be messy, but kind of to be a little messy. Are they going out of business? I was watching a video that Shanine posted, and then I also started seeing like other people talking on Twitter, which I don't usually, like, if you know me, you know, like, most of the time I don't get caught up in the hot goss and the tea and all of that drama of the beauty community. But like, I do like Morphe products. Like, there are some products from Morphe, like their continuous setting mist and their brushes especially, that I use on a very regular basis, and I do, you know, purchase and like. So when I heard that, I was like, wait, what? So y'all let me know down below in the comments, like, have you heard anything about Morphe going out of business? If that's the case, it's kind of crazy, because I feel like they're one of the big brands that I feel like have been around for a minute and kind of like, what's the word? Kind of were like one of the trendsetters of a lot of things today. Like, we're at the forefront, I guess, maybe is what I'm saying, of a lot of things in the beauty community. But I do know, like, they've had some drama and they've had, you know, some collaborations that maybe weren't with the best people, or with people that ended up being caught up in drama, whatever. You guys, I don't know the details. I don't be knowing all the details. But I do, like, I'll see, like, little things here and there. If you're part of the beauty community, it's hard to miss it completely. So I do know there has been, like, some hot tea about them over the years. But when I saw that, I was like, what? Not Morphe going out of business. So yeah, if you've heard about that, I'm just curious. Let me know, because these are things that we definitely need to know. Because, like, if I need to be stocking up, if I need to be, like, maybe taking advantage of potential sales that are coming, these are things your girl needs to know. Okay, so eyeshadow is done. Bronzer is eyeshadow. I just kind of went back and forth with the two shades in this palette. Like I said, nothing too crazy. And then for blush, I actually pulled out this Saharan Blush Volume 2. I have both of these palettes, the 1 and the 2. But I decided to pick out this one because I felt like it had shades that I would actually want to use. This is what it looks like. This is kind of like the lighter version of the blush palette. And then they also have one that has some deeper shades in it. I should have just taken it out so I could show you guys, but it's fine. I'll link it for you down below if you are interested. But I think today I'm going to dip into this shade and this shade. Just kind of mix them together. Mostly this shade though. Not too much on the orange. But I feel like this shade is a little dark. So I just want to kind of lighten it up just a little. Lighten and warm it up just a little. So we're gonna, and I'm also lightly tapping into this pink one as well. So kind of just tap, tap, tap into everything. Ooh. So that's what it's giving. And we're just gonna lightly dust that on the cheeks. Pretty, pretty. Okay, and if you happen to put a little too much, which I don't necessarily feel like I did, but you can just go in with your powder brush. I'm just going to do like mostly right in this area, so it's not too much on the apples of my cheeks. Alright, so next I'm going to set the face, and we're going to kind of do some last final touches, I do have a highlighter and some lip products from Juvia's Place that I'm going to use to finish off this look as well. So to set the face, I'm going in with my setting spray from Smashbox, which is almost completely empty. But this is the Photo Finish setting spray. This actually had a rebrand, so I will be making a repurchase of this because this one, like I said, is almost empty. And so I'll show you guys what the new packaging looks like. It's like an all white packaging. Like, I feel like all their products, they rebranded and it's like this white and silver packaging. So I'll show you that whenever I pick it up. But let's go ahead and set the face. And then once that's like 90% dry, I like to go in with my Makeup Forever Velvet Matte Powders. And I'm actually going to go in with the lighter shade, which is Y375. I'll have these linked down below. I have two shades. I have Y445, which is more of like my skin tone shade. And then Y375, which is like a lighter shade. And basically what I like to do is go in with my sponge. I'm going to wipe it off and use this to like reset underneath my eyes. And it kind of just like gives it a nice flawless look under the eye and just pulls everything together. So just like so. So you can kind of see the difference between this side. See how much more like smooth that looks compared to this side. And then I also like to bring it under my cheek, just to like, you know, bring everything together. It's also going to give like that final blur. If you have pores in this area of your face, it's going to give like a final blur to that area. Clean up the outside of my eyeshadow. And if you have the Charlotte Tilbury powder, you can use it for this step also. I have that powder, but lately I've kind of been into these Makeup Forever ones. Okay. And let's see, what else do we need to do? Okay, so highlighter. I have this one also from Juvia's Place. Not sure if they're discontinuing these or not because I did notice that they were on sale. But this one is the Tribe Highlighter Volume 2. So there's a Volume 1 and a Volume 2. I could have sworn I bought the Volume 1. But I didn't see it in my drawer, so I guess maybe I didn't pick it up. But it's a lighter shade, you know, compared to this one. But today, we'll just do this shade right on the little high points of the cheek. Not too much. I'm literally, like, barely tapping into this because I don't want too much going on. But I did kind of just want to use, like, some of the Juvia's Place products that I had in my collection that I haven't used in a while. Okay. All right, so I'm going to finish up my face real quick because I don't want this to drag on too long. I'm going to put on my lashes and just like do my little last steps, do my mascara and all of that kind of stuff. And then I'll come back to show you guys a final look at the face and we'll go ahead and get this wear test started. All right, y'all. So before I zoom you out, I just wanted to give you one more up close look at the face. So this is how she's looking. I do feel like now that I have all of my products on, which is kind of what I said initially, I do feel like the shade kind of matches my, like the neck to face ratio is kind of sitting a little bit better. I did initially feel like it might have been a twinge too light, but now that I have all of my products on, I feel like it is a good match. So this is how we're looking on the face. The skin is skinning, as you can see. Other side. And for the lip, I just used a Juvia's Place liner and a Juvia's Place lip gloss. So this is the Luxe liner in the shade So Rare, just a brown lip liner. And then this is one of their glosses in the shade Sis, I think. Or is it Isis? I think it's Sis, in the shade Sis. But I will link both of these down below for you guys if you're interested. We just kept it super simple on the lip today. I actually really like the way that it looks. And yeah, this is how we are looking on the face. Alright, so here we are a little bit more zoomed out so that you guys can get, you know, a little bit of a different angle of how everything is looking. Like I said, I feel like everything kind of came together in the end, and the skin and the color match and everything looks really good now that I have all of the products on my face. Overall, my initial first impression is that I do really like the way that the product sits on the skin. I feel like my skin looks really natural. It looks healthy. It looks radiant. I obviously have makeup on, but I feel like it doesn't look cakey. It doesn't look foundation-y, if that makes sense. It just looks really nice and smoothly blended into the skin. And even though I do have oily skin, it's giving me a really nice, healthy, radiant glow, which I am not mad at. So obviously, we're going to see how this wears throughout the day. It is currently 1 o'clock. You guys can see the little timestamp. It's currently 1 o'clock. I would say that I've had this foundation on my face already for about 30 minutes, but just to have an official timestamp, we'll say, you know, 12:30, 1 o'clock as our start time. I do have a couple of other things that I need to do today, have some other videos I need to film, and I think I'm going to vlog a little bit today as well. So yeah, stay tuned for those upcoming videos. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and just continue on about my day. I'm going to try my best not to touch up or anything, but if I do end up feeling like I need to do anything to the face, I will come back on camera and show that to you guys, and be sure to give you guys a timestamp for that as well. So let me know down below. Quick little pause on the video. Let me know down below what you guys think so far, how you guys think that it'll wear throughout the day. If you've tried it already, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, and I'll check back in with you guys in a couple of hours to let you know how it's going. Okay guys, so really quick before I switch gears and start, you know, carrying on with my day and doing all the other things I need to do, I just wanted to show you guys in natural light what the skin is looking like. So I'm actually standing in front of a window, as you can see, the other window in this room, so that you guys can get a little bit of the natural light vibes. So this is how the skin is looking in natural light. Honestly, it's really giving. It's really giving. The natural light, I feel like it's just taking it to a whole nother level. And again, I just feel like the skin is sitting and it just looks really good. And FedEx is here, so I'm actually going to run downstairs and see what they're bringing me. But just wanted to pop on here really quickly and show you guys the natural light. Apollo. Okay, but like I was saying, I got a little cut off. Just wanted to pop on here real quick, show you guys what the foundation was giving in natural light. And yeah, now I'm going to go ahead and carry on with the rest of my day. Hey y'all, so quick check-in. It is 4:54. You can see at the top, 4:54. So basically almost 5 o'clock. It's been 4 hours, and I wanted to check in really quickly to show you the skin. We are definitely looking radiant, okay? Very radiant, which is what the foundation suggested. It said it was going to be a luminous foundation, and it is living up to that claim. I did just finish filming another video, which will already be up. It was my top 22 makeup products of 2022. And I did have to powder my face a little bit before I started filming the video, which was probably about an hour ago now, because it basically looked like this, which isn't an issue. It looks healthy. It looks glowy, but I feel like for me personally, my skin is just going to continue to get more oily, so I can't just leave it like this, if that makes sense. So I did want to check in with you guys. I wanted to give you an update. I did do a light set with the Urban Decay All-Nighter, but I obviously didn't want to be looking all shiny face for y'all on camera while I'm trying to film a video. So I did set it with this, which is my go-to powder for setting my face, if it wants to stay open. My go-to powder for setting my face and doing touch-ups throughout the day. And now that we are at the 4-hour mark, I'm going to touch it up one more time. I don't really have too much more content to do, but I may be going out to like a coffee shop or a Starbucks to do some editing. So I figured I would touch up my face a little bit before I go and do that. So again, same powder. I am going to blot this time though, just because I want to see if we're going to have any transfer. And any transfer that I do have may just be from the powder. And also I will mention that it's really hot in this room. So this room and our guest room are on the front of the house, and the front of the house is the area that gets the most sun. I know y'all are probably like, nobody cares, but these two rooms get the most sun. So whenever I'm sitting in here filming or doing anything in here, oftentimes this room is just very, very warm. So I have had the door closed because obviously I'm filming, trying to block out, you know, unnecessary noise. And that may also be part of why I'm just kind of getting a little more luminous in here, because I've been sitting in here for about an hour and it is hot in this room. So this is what came off the face. Literally nothing, I would say. And down here on this corner, this is my brow from when I tap my brow. But yeah, this is like nothing. I feel like most of this is probably from the powder from the last time I set, or just bronzer, other products that are on top of the foundation. It's definitely not the foundation. And you guys can see up close that the foundation has not moved. It's still very much in place. My skin is just looking a little luminous, a lot luminous. So we're gonna set it, and then I'm gonna get out of this hot room. So I'll just do one side of the face. And if you guys watched my top 22 video, then you actually saw me also set my face in that video, because I was talking about this powder. My face was already looking a little bit oily. I wanted to show you guys how good it was, because you guys know I swear by this. So I set my face, that's what I'm talking about in the video, so that you guys could see how this powder in action. But again, just showing y'all once again, this is the side that I just set. Literally looks like new. And then this side is the side that is still looking a little bit luminous. So we're going to go ahead and set that side. And I know part of it, again, like I said, is that it's just so hot in here. So once I get out of this room, hopefully, you know, we'll be good to go. But this is the face, freshly set, 4 hours after initial application. I'm not surprised by that. Typically around the 4-hour mark, if I'm out and about at work, running errands, whatever, and I have makeup on, this is about the time that I would have to set my face anyway. So that is not inconvenient to me at all. And I feel like my skin still looks really good. It looks luminous. It looks healthy. It looks still lightweight, even though I did just apply another layer of powder on top. I don't feel like my skin looks heavy or makeup-y, cakey, whatever, even though I'm layering additional products on top of the foundation. So just wanted to check back in with you guys, let you guys know we're 4 hours in. This is how we're looking. We did another set, and I'll check back in with you guys probably in another 4 hours. I think I'm going to try to wear this for 8 hours total. So that would be 9 o'clock. So yeah, we're going to just continue on throughout our day, and then I'll check back in with you guys a little bit later. I know normally I would include some vlog footage for you guys, but I am actually vlogging too. So yeah, you'll just have to stay tuned for the vlog. But yeah, anyway, I'm rambling now. I'll see you guys in a few hours. All right, y'all. So I am back. I actually almost forgot that I had a check-in that I needed to do, so luckily I remembered. Here we are, final check-in of the night. It is 10 o'clock. I ended up wearing this longer than I planned. Y'all can see it is 10:01. So I have had this foundation on for 9 hours. We started the countdown at 1. Really, I had already pretty much had the foundation on at 12:30. But we started the official countdown at 1, and it's now 10 p.m. So this is what the face is looking like. Let me zoom y'all in a little so y'all can see, or a lot. And I left my computer downstairs because I was in the middle of editing a different video. So I'm using my viewfinder. Hopefully, you know, it's not too bright and everything's going to look good when I go to edit and post. But this is what the face is looking like after 9 hours of wear. So the last time I did anything to my face was at around 4-ish, or when I did the check-in, that was at 5, I think. So at around 5 p.m., that's when I blotted my face. So it has now been another 5 hours, and this is how the face is looking. Very much I would go beyond luminous at this point and say I'm giving very much oily. I haven't blotted in between since then. I haven't done anything to my face because, again, we ended up not going out anywhere. We just ate dinner, and then I've been editing since earlier. And this is how the face is looking. So in my normal fashion, I am going to blot my face, apply some more powder, and we're going to see how it looks afterwards. So again, quick before. Okay, had to do a couple of thumbnail poses right quick. And we're gonna blot real quick. Just using my same tissue from earlier to blot the face. So this side, I am seeing a little bit more transfer happening this time, but again, we have also applied a couple more layers of powder on the face since then. But as far as the foundation, I would say overall it still looks pretty good. It's kind of settling a little bit here. Does this zoom in anymore? Yeah. So a little bit around my nose and the slightest bit in my smile lines. But outside of that, I would say everywhere else looks to still be pretty much intact. So let me zoom y'all back out just a twinge. And we're going to powder the face for the last time. There we go. That's better. Drop down a little bit. Okay, so this is how the face is looking after powder. So it definitely looks pretty good. If I absolutely had to, I could probably continue to wear this face for a couple more hours. You can see a little bit better now that I've kind of powdered everything, where like right in here, it kind of started to settle, and obviously around my nose. But like the rest of my face, if I was out and about and I needed to kind of, you know, just freshen up and keep moving, I could definitely continue to wear this face if I absolutely needed to. All right, y'all, so let's go ahead and wrap up this video with my final thoughts on this foundation. As you guys know, I have had this foundation on now for 9+ hours, and as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, it did claim to be a natural radiant finish, medium coverage, long wear, and it was supposed to, let's see, what else did it say on here? Minimize imperfection, smooth, protect, hydrate skin, and provide lasting results. So after having this foundation on for over 9 hours, I would say I'm not really surprised at the way that it wore on the skin throughout the day. I will say that when I initially applied it to my face, it did apply flawlessly. It gave a beautiful, natural, healthy, radiant look to the skin. As you guys saw in the beginning, it looked absolutely beautiful. However, as an oily skin girly, I would not reach for this foundation if I needed to wear it for a long period of time, because I would be concerned that my skin would pretty much look oily every 2 hours. Like honestly, after I applied the foundation the first time, within about like 2 hours time when I sat down to film the next video, my skin was already looking oily, radiant, you know, whatever you want to call it. And there is a difference between a healthy radiance and oily, but when I was sitting on camera with, you know, the lights on and everything, it was reading very oily on camera, which is why I ended up having to touch up a little bit while I was filming that video. Now, if I was just out and about, you know, running errands and stuff like that in the natural sunlight, it probably would not, it probably wouldn't have stood out as much, because obviously when you're sitting in front of all of these like studio lights, everything just kind of, it's like HD in here. Everything is very much HD. Whereas outside, you have natural sunlight, you've got clouds, sometimes over the sun, you've got natural filters happening outside. And so sometimes the skin reads a little bit differently. Oftentimes, skin reads differently in natural light outside than it would in front of artificial studio lights. So my overall opinion or review of this foundation, I'm definitely going to keep it. I think it did exactly what it said it was going to do. It said it was going to be a natural radiant finish. That's what it gave me. It did say it was going to be long wearing. It is. I did have to touch it up a couple of times throughout the day, but it is still on my face. It's not breaking up outside of right around my nose. And it was long wearing. It still looks good. I was able to touch it up. If I needed to continue wearing it, I could. The only thing for me though is I would prefer, like, especially if I was at an event or if I was going out with the girls or if I was going to be taking pictures, I would prefer to not have to be concerned about my face looking oily every 2 hours. So just keep that in mind. If you are somebody that prefers a matte finish foundation, this foundation is not for you. If you are somebody that likes that healthy, natural, radiant look to your skin, you would love this foundation. If you're somebody that likes both, like me, I have different times that I prefer certain finishes on certain foundations, then I would pick it up and use it accordingly. Or if you wanted to pick up something to add to your more matte foundations and you don't necessarily want to add something super dewy or overly like highlight radiant type product, you could add something like this to a more matte foundation to give it a little bit more dimension to the skin where it's not just super flat and matte. So obviously this foundation is going to wear different for different skin types. Again, me being oily, I would say I would keep this as like a 4 to 6 hour, maybe, well, yeah, a 4 to 6 hour foundation, closer to the 4 hour mark than the 6 hour mark. It would not go in the category for me of a foundation I would wear if I need to look flawless for a long period of time and I needed something to really control my oil for a long period of time. Now I am going to continue wearing it. I'll keep you guys posted, because another thing that I didn't do that I typically would do whenever I apply my foundation is set my primer, which I mentioned to you guys when I was applying the foundation, because I use the Yummy Skin Balm, which typically would be enough, but with a foundation like this that is obviously very much radiant and luminous, dewy, it may have helped for me to actually set my primers with a matte powder underneath before going in with this foundation. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all that I have to share. I don't think it's a bad foundation by any means. You guys saw how beautiful it looked on my skin. I still stand by that. I just think that if you have oily skin and you pick up this foundation, expect to be touching up your makeup throughout the day. Make sure you have a powder that you know that you can count on, like the Urban Decay All-Nighter, because you are going to be having to touch up every 2 to 3 hours. Depending on how oily you are, you may even have to be touching up even more than that. If you have dry skin, you would love this. It would make you look so luminous and healthy and give you literally that natural radiance. It would be beautiful on the skin. Even if you have normal or combination skin, you would just maybe have to touch up in the areas that you get a little bit oily, which is more than likely probably your T-zone. But if you are a full-blown oily girl like me, just keep in mind that yes, it's going to give you natural radiance, as you can see even on my face right now. But as your oil starts to come in throughout the day, you are going to have to be touching up on a pretty regular basis if you want to still keep certain areas of your face very matte, if that's your preference. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I think this was a great first foundation review to start the new year. Next up, I will be reviewing the new Makeup by Mario foundation, and then I also picked up the NYX Blur foundation or tint. I think it's the Blur tint. I picked up that one as well, and I have the Patrick Ta one. I have a bunch of foundations that I'm going to be reviewing for you guys. So let me know down below in the comments if there's anyone in particular that you would like to see next. Thank you so much for staying until the end of this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you very soon.